Welcome to a Toast to the Men Network with your guy SD. Toasters, I was working out this morning. Had a nice workout. And I was just thinking about gratitude and thinking about people who have been there for us through challenging times, through some rough times, through some times at the time we thought there was no way out. We thought this is the worst it can get. And you had some people in your life that showed up and showed out and really represented and expressed their love. Their love through words, through actions. And on this social media thing, a lot of us will highlight our personal achievements or highlight our personal woes. But I rarely see, and this is including me too, I rarely see us highlight the people who did come through. And I want to take this time, this short moment, this short but powerful and important moment to highlight some people that have come through. Man, first and foremost, my cousin Marcus Eagleborn. Man, look him up. He's we follow each other on Facebook and IG. Look him up. He's an insurance broker. He's doing some great things out there. I'm extremely proud of that brother. It's my first cousin. Our mothers are sisters. I'm proud of him, and I think he's proud of me. He always says he looks up to me, but man, he inspires me. I look up to him. He's a younger cousin, but I'm inspired by him. I'm motivated by him, and he's always extended some gain or a connection to some money, to some business. Always. So, shout out to my cousin. Next, shout out to my cousin, Venicia Booker, but she's married, so she goes by Venicia McGuire. She's doing some great things, man. My cousin had really looked out for me last year. Last year was challenging. I had some good moments. Actually, overall, 2022 was a good year for me. But I did have some things pop up that I didn't really foresee. They were challenging. But overall, it was a good year. But my cousin was there for me. She was there for me. And, man, we've been rocking forever. You know, a lot of people think we're brother and sister. But we grew up on the same street. Yeah, we just rock out. And so our fathers are brothers. You know. The homie LV. You know, the homie Lavia, LV. Shout out. We don't always agree, but she's been there. She was there. You know, and I appreciate it. Been rocking with LV for probably 15, 16 years. It's crazy, man. I remember when her youngest child was like 4 or 5, and now she's grown and has a baby, a newborn. That's wild. Yeah, that's wild. So, LV was there for me in 2022. And my editor, man, giving me that motivation. My editor, Michael Watkins, giving me that motivation, that encouragement to keep pushing, letting me know, hey man, you got some fire content. This next book, Palmer Christie, that's the ticket. Man, you sitting on a gold mine. Just uplifting me, giving me that encouragement when I have self-doubt, when I'm not feeling like writing, when I question myself, when in 2022, I went through a couple of things and just wasn't motivated. And he looked out those words, man, just let me know, yeah, I'm on the right track. So yeah, man, I always kick out a shout and represent and let people know you appreciate them. Not just in private, but publicly, because we do a lot of stuff publicly. We stunt. We show off our new car, new plates, jewelry, clothes, restaurants we go to publicly. But we rarely, and I say we rarely highlight those people that have been rocking with us and give us that encouragement and support. So I want to encourage people to do that more often. Give people the flowers while they can smell them. I'm saying give them to them publicly, let them know. And what's the tricky thing about that, man? That doesn't mean that you guys are going to be okay next year or next month or next 10 years. But what they meant to you at that moment in that season, it needs to be highlighted. It needs to be it needs to be acknowledged, you know. And so that's just what it is. So I've been looking at this Deion Sanders situation about the statement he made. I guess you can call it controversy. It seems like it's dying down quick. People trying to put some steam behind it, but it seems like it's dying down quick because I think people know that really there is some truth to what he said. So Deion was giving a press conference with Colorado football team. He's the head coach, new head coach there. He's giving a press conference and he was stating how he would recruit, his recruiting strategy, and somewhat the reasons behind it. I think he could have went deeper into the reasons, but somewhat the reasons behind it. And these reasons were stereotypical, but we have to admit there is some truth to stereotypes. And I think there's a lot of truth to what he was saying. Was it 100% truth? No. Was it arbitrarily true across the board? No. But when you look at probability, his solution, his strategy of succeeding as a football coach, his route, the greatest probability of him succeeding, he feels is to go the route or the strategy he's going to exercise. I can't disagree with him. Are there many different ways to win? Yes. I totally understand where he's coming from. And what he said was, he wants his quarterback to come from a two-parent home. He wants his O-line to come from a two-parent home. Because they're disciplined, they know how to take instruction, they know how to be coached, they know how to adhere to masculinity, and they have a sense of leadership, they're focused. He said he wants his D-line and his cornerbacks, wide receivers, stuff like that, to come from somewhat broken homes, dysfunctional homes, mama barely making it. They want them to have a nastiness to them, to be somewhat reckless, to go out, ball out. They don't need as much order or discipline or leadership qualities on the field as a quarterback does or O-line does. A lot of people have a problem with that. I've been looking at the comments. It's been mostly women, mostly black women have had a problem with that. But I agree there is some truth to what he's saying, a lot of truth. The quarterback is an extension of the head coach. He's on the field carrying them with the head coach once. The players must respect that quarterback just like they respect their head coach. Same in basketball. I played basketball most of my life. I was a point guard. People have to respect the point guard as much as they respect that coach. I got to be able to pull your jersey in and hug. I got to be able to get on your ass. And, I was doing this as a teenager, getting on people's ass. I don't care, it was 6'7", 6'9", 6'10". And so, presence to get the job done. Just to be a leader amongst men. gotta respect you. So I totally get what Deion is saying. A lot of people were offended, like I said, mostly women, black women were offended. And that's simply, maybe because of a couple of things. They're in denial or just misinformed. But I think it's mostly denial. A lot of black women just don't want to admit that you have a higher probability of succeeding. This is what I said, a higher probability of succeeding when you come from a two-parent home. Actually, studies have been done, and it's been founded that kids actually do better, excel greater when in the home with just the father, opposed to in the home with just the mother. And that fathers really enjoy it much better than mothers do. Fathers enjoy single fatherhood more than mothers do. You've heard it, you've seen it. It's probably you. As a woman, you probably couldn't wait for those kids to leave the home. You've told them that you couldn't wait until they left the home, until they were old enough to leave the home. You celebrated it on Facebook, on IG, that your kids were leaving the home. And you complained about it, and you were stressed that you didn't get a break, where fathers really enjoy it. But it takes two. It takes two solid ones for a child to have the greatest probability of succeeding. Like I said, greatest probability is not a guarantee. But we're going to deal with the rule, not the exception. We're going to deal with the majority, the greatest probability, opposed to the smallest, the least probability. And so, when people do that, when they focus on, that it's not totally true, it's not 100% fact. It's not like that in every case. What they're doing is being a distraction, and they don't want to deal with reality, with the facts. Because, of course, nothing is 100%. Nothing is perfect. No one bats 1,000 every time. But we're focusing on the greatest probability for success. And so that's what Deion was talking about. And it's just facts, you want your D-line to be gritty. You want your wide receivers and your cornerbacks to be kind of nasty, have that hunger. And you get a lot of that hunger, not 100% of the time, but a lot of brothers that grew up in the hood, they grew up in poverty, they grew up in the inner city, have a certain hunger when they get a taste of success, when they see the light and see this is my ticket, this is my way out. They have a hunger about them that there is no tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Like Creed, like Apollo Creed told Rocky in Rocky 2, when he's about to face Clubber Lang. Rocky wasn't coming with him, right? Because Rocky had lost that hunger. And Rocky's like, we'll do it tomorrow. We'll try again tomorrow. And Apollo Creed was like, there is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. And Creed had to take him back to the hood, to where people were hungry, because Rocky got too comfortable. Marvin Hagler said, it's hard, it's very hard, it's very difficult to get up at 5 a.m. in the morning and do road work when you're sleeping in satin pajamas. It's just fact. And so that's what Deion's talking about, a hunger, a nastiness, a dire need, knowing this is my ticket, there is no way out. There is no other way. There is no plan B. I gotta make it with this ticket. And that's what your wide receivers, your cornerbacks, your D-line, that's what they're giving. You know, you just want them to be athletic and play. You know, sometimes that makes some heady, you know, you get some special ones sometimes. But for the most part, you just want them to be athletic. And you want your quarterback to be not so much athletic, but to be smart and disciplined, orderly, precise, efficient. You want your O-line to be just as smart as your quarterback, if not smarter. You know, and so that's just the way it is. You know, a lot of people say it was racist. You know, that's the easy go-to, saying something is racist. But if you think about it, Deion is black. Deion is the coach of a black quarterback who's going to be quarterbacking his team. It doesn't really make sense. Not only that, we had two black quarterbacks face off in the Super Bowl just a week ago. Both of these black quarterbacks have fathers in their lives. Both of them come from two-parent homes. So, anyone saying this is racist, Deion's statement is racist, needs to really question themselves, their prejudices in their own head. Because the proof is in the pudding that the black quarterback is here. He's here to stay and can quarterback and lead a team. The proof is in the pudding that these two black quarterbacks come from two-parent homes, solid fathers. So Deion couldn't have, I don't think, there's no way he could have been talking about white quarterbacks, white offensive linemen. I don't think so. Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So, you know, and you could be a white guy that comes from a place with a place where you have that hunger. I think Jason Williams, what they call him white chocolate, that grew up with Randy Moss, I think he had that. That's a gentleman, he was a point guard, came out of Fresno State. Played under Jerry Tarkanian, man. Cannot remember his name. It's in the 90s. I think he dealt with some drug issues, though, white guy. But he had that hunger, I believe, out of Boston. He was born and raised in Boston, I believe. Cannot remember his name. But he had that hunger. I believe Jokic, you know, the Joker, for Denver Nuggets has that hunger. We go on and on, man. Growing up in the 80s, I remember Tom Chambers, who played for the Phoenix Suns, white guy, power forward. He had that hunger and that nastiness, I believe. And so, I mean, and you can have that hunger without growing up in dire need, not growing up in the hood. You can still have that hunger. You can come from a two-parent home and not do so well, and be white, right? And be white. So there's quarterbacks, white quarterbacks, that have not done well at all, did not have good leadership skills at all. Ryan Leaf, there's another guy, forgot his name, but yeah, come from coaching fathers, come from two-parent homes, poor leadership skills. So, you know, nothing's 1,000%, you know, 100%, no one bats 1,000. But we're going off the highest probability for success. And, you know, I think Deion's right. Now, on the flip side, I don't think Deion should have shared that, you know. What was the point? And I think ego and arrogance played a part in him voicing that. That's not something that should even be voiced. Because what's the point? You know, with anything we say, anything we put out into the universe, we got to really question, like, what's the point of this? A lot of us just like to talk, just to be talking. And there's no point to it And a lot of that ego and arrogance plays a part, that we feel like we can say anything we want to say. And it doesn't have to really be rooted in anything constructive, anything fruitful, anything righteous, you know. But here I am doing this video, and so hopefully somebody can learn from this situation, you know, and think. Maybe it'll provoke thought in how we treat ourselves, how we view things, how we view others, and that everything's not black and white, it's about race. Now, are you going to have more white two-parent homes than black two-parent homes? Yes. Yes. If you leave out systemic racism and all the other woes that blacks face in society, just on numbers alone, you should have more in America. Numbers alone, you should have more white two-parent homes than black two-parent homes. Just numbers alone. If you leave out all the challenges or disadvantages that people feel, you know, blacks face, numbers alone, because we're the minority in this country, right? So, you know, that's just what it is. But like I say, Deion, I don't think he should have voiced that. That was arrogant, and it wasn't rooted in anything fruitful. You know, so you know, Deion says a lot. You know, he says a lot. And so, you know, some people get off on that, just saying whatever they want to say. But you know, the key to wisdom, to a wise man, you know, a knowledgeable man knows what to say. A wise man knows when to say it. And you could be a knowledgeable fool. You could really be a knowledgeable fool. And in some respects, you could be an unknowledgeable wise man, because wisdom is all about timing. It's all about timing. It's all about sensing when is the right moment, when is the right time to say this or not say this. That's wisdom. Right? And so it is what it is, right? Nobody's perfect. But yeah, he should have said it. Although there's a lot of truth to it, doesn't mean it needs to be said, because what's the point? Let me know what y'all think, toasters. Like I said, give people their flowers. Let them know how important they are to you, what they mean to you. And yeah, just recognize, man, that somebody's been there for you. And be there for them. You know, I'm not big on having huge cliques. I deal with a few people. A few people I can trust. I feel I can trust. I can trust me. And I just like it that way, you know. And so when you find those people, man, you just gotta treat them right. You know, don't take them for granted. Don't let them take you for granted. And live life, man. Live life to the fullest. All right? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. As always, love. Peace.